Hi everyone, I'm Professor Rad, and today we're going to talk about a fourth measure of center called the mode. So we've already discussed three measures of center, or three types of averages. We had the mean, and the median, and the mid-range, and now we're going to take a look at the mode. So the mode of a data set is the value or values that occurs the most frequently. A data set can have one mode. It could have more than one mode, or it might even have no mode. So for example, if there's one value that occurs more often than any other value, that would be a single mode. Let's say you have a tie. Let's say two of the numbers in the data set each happen 15 times, and that's the most. So that situation, both of those numbers would be the mode. And that's different from other situations we've looked at. So you could have more than one answer if you're looking for a mode. And then lastly, if all of the data values occur the same number of times, then you won't have any mode. So you won't be able to report an average. So this is kind of a weird measure of center. But let's take a look and see how we can find our mode here. So the example we've been looking at has been data from senators and members of the House of Representatives that Chuck has collected. And we want to find the mode for each of these two samples. So I'm going to scan the senator data and see if I see any number that repeats more than once. So I'm noticing a few 75s. There's 75s in there. That appears to be it for the repeating 75s. I'm also noticing that 70 happens a couple times. And none of the other numbers appear to repeat, right? So there's only 135. None of the 60s repeat. Yep. So to find the mode, I want not just any number that repeats, but the number that repeats the most. So 70 happens twice and 75 happens thrice. So that means 75 is going to be the mode. So for the senators, 75 years old. That's going to be our mode. Now let's take a look at the House of Representatives and do the same thing. So I'm going to go through and see if any of these values repeats more than once. Having some trouble this time. So let's look at, we've got 36. That's the only one in the 30s. I got, where are my 40s at? So 41, 42, 45, 46. None of those repeat. Oh, 49. Still doesn't repeat with any of the others. We got a 55 and a 59 and a 58. So none of the 50s repeat. I don't think the 60s repeat. We got a 72 and a 71 and 82. So none of these numbers are repeating. They all each happen once. So for the House of Representatives, that means that there is no mode. So one of the downsides to the mode is if I wanted to compare the average ages of the senators with the House of Representative members from these samples, I have an average for senators using the mode, but I don't for the House of Representatives. Now, if there is no mode, you don't want to say 0. Because if I saw that, that would mean, well, the average age of a member of the House of Representatives is 0. And that's silly, right? They're not 0 years old. So if there's no mode, you just write no mode. Okay. Now, although this is difficult to use for numerical data, it might be helpful if, for example, I want to know, well, what's like an average hair color for a group of people? In that case, I could be looking at black, brown, blonde, red, dyed hair, right? So I could be looking for a variety of colors And so I would just look for the color that happens the most, and that would be the mode, and that would give me a typical or average hair color. So one of the advantages to the mode is that you can use it if your data is not numerical. All right, let's take a look at finding the mode from a frequency distribution. So this frequency distribution is showing us how much money a simple random sample of kids gets from the Tooth Fairy. So 2 of the kids each got $10 from the Tooth Fairy. Some lucky kid got $20 from the Tooth Fairy. 5 kids each got $1, and 8 kids each got $5. So I want to know the value that happens most often, or the value that happens most frequently. Frequency. I'm looking for the category that has the highest frequency. So in this case, the biggest frequency value is the 8. So 8 kids versus 5 or 2 or 1. But I'm going to report back the category value. So the mode in this case is $5. If I wanted to kind of go back and reconstruct my data set here, this would mean 5 kids each got $1. 8 kids each got $5. 2 kids each got $10. And 1 kid got $20. So the mode is the value that happens the most. And so we can see the $5 is the one that happens the most. And again, that's because it had the highest frequency. All right, so that's going to wrap up this video about the mode. In the next video, we're going to look at all the different measures of center that we've discussed and do some comparisons. So we'll talk about some kind of summary remarks, as well as check to see what kinds of things might influence different measures of center and why we might want to use one more than another. So I hope you have an excellent day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.